to Empire Total War. This is welcome to my channel. This is my first ever recording of a Total War game. I have played Total War for many years. What we'll be doing today is going into the Grand Campaign and playing one of my favourite factions, the Ottoman Empire. We'll be doing a long campaign. The history of Europe over the last centuries can be seen as history of the Ottoman Empire and the few annoying small nations that thwarted Ottoman ambitions. Ottoman power is unmatched in its extent and grandeur, straddling the traditional trade route between Europe and Asia. The Ottomans also have power over the whole of the Mediterranean coast of North Africa. This Turkish Islamic empire supplanted the Orthodox Byzantine Empire in the 15th century, and since then has had a continuing, if not always wholehearted, ambition to expand further westwards into the heart of Europe. In living memory, the Turkish armies have reached the gates of Vienna, Austria, only to be turned back by the steadfast defenders. Turkish expansionism has been a part of palace politics. When a sultan has felt secure at home, he has attacked Europe. When a sultan has felt threatened by his Janissary military commanders, he has sent them to attack. The Ottomans face challenges, but within these are great opportunities. The army and navy look old-fashioned compared to those of some states, but the soldiers of the sultan are numerous indeed. Strategically, the empire is in a potentially strong position. The Balkans are a natural bastion to defend Istanbul. There may even be valuable allies to be found among Austria's rivals. The authority of the Pope to stop his European flock making treaties with infidels is all but gone. Control of the Mediterranean would allow the Sultan to do as he pleases with European powers. And to the east, the route to India offers a chance of riches. Well, let's dive in and see what befalls the Ottoman Empire.
Your first priority should be to protect the boundaries of your empire to the north and west. Hostile Russia is attempting to obtain a Black Sea port through your protectorate, the Crimean Khanate, and despite the recent peace, your traditional enemies, the Austrian Empire, will press home any advantage in the Balkan territories of Bosnia and Serbia. As the empire of Safavid Persia collapses, there may be incursions into your territory from the eastern desert, so secure the borders of Mesopotamia and Armenia to keep their movement in check. You must also consider the steady advance of technology in the West. Very soon, you could find yourself disadvantaged on the battlefield, with only weight of numbers swinging in your favor. Keep abreast of technology by assigning scholars to research all the latest developments. Maintaining friendly relations with a major European power, possibly France, will prove useful should Russia and Austria rise against you. Continuing your support and control of the Crimean Khanate and surrounding regions should prevent Russia from breaking out of their present landlocked status, whilst the Barbary states should continue to act as a buffer to the aggressive navies of Catholic Venice and Spain.
The concerns is obviously Venice. Their navy is in close proximity to our major ports, and they have the region of Petraeus in Moria. So we'll need to kick them out promptly, and then obviously find a way to take out Venice proper and get rid of that republic. Another concern that we have is Cairo. It's one of the British targets, so at some point in the future we need to ensure that Cairo has sufficient defences to forestall and at least an attempt by Britain to capture it. We'll also need to make sure that we control Mesopotamia, or at least have some defences there. We have been attacked in the past by Persia, and no doubt future armies will head in from the east in that direction. Another major target will be Tbilisi. If we can knock out Georgia, that gives us a stronger foothold against Russia in the Caucasus, and then we'll need to keep an eye on Chechnya and Dagestan, because they are usually allied with Georgia. If we can take these two out, that will give us a strong position over Azerbaijan and Don Boysko, as well as Astrakhan. I can't even pronounce that. But Russia's presence in this part of the Black Sea, sort of Caspian Sea region, should be minimal in terms of troop movements. they should hopefully be focused on St. Petersburg and the Swedish. And then what we also want to do is eventually conquer all of India and make sure that we do not have a single rival, and we are then the sole Islamic empire to which we can call ourselves the Caliphate.
So at the start we're just going to be moving troops around and just looking into the different regions, seeing what's happening. So yeah, just checking through various units, moving the Imam into EC and the Scholar into the school. We'll start with military campaign or military research. Then we'll just get our various ships into port so that we don't get them attacked or have a risk of them being attacked. Building up our forces in Baghdad to help us reinforce Tbilisi. And then just checking the government tabs. Let's move our cabinet around. We've got quite a bad start, as is expected with the Ottoman Empire under Mustafa. So just moving our people around, so just to try and get better stats. And then that should hopefully help improve public order and our income by reducing corruption and people stealing from the treasury. And let's see, okay, Pious, that's not too bad. Pious and Jughead, morally impaired. Let's get rid of him and then put that there. So we've got some additional green, which is good. Try and do some trade agreements. We got some trade agreements with Britain and Austria. Or maybe it's just Britain that we've got trade agreements with. So while we're waiting for the turn to end, we can just see what we'll do in the next turn. But I do quite like the Ottoman Empire. I like their region. Just their units are quite bad, especially in the early game. So Spain and United Provinces have declared war, as have Prussia and Austria. That should keep the Austrians busy for a while. And then we've got some additional buildings, and we've got some additional recruitment in Rumelia and Mesopotamia. So at this point I'm thinking we should collate our troops together, move them into Bulgaria, just so we can collate them. I'm originally thinking we need to move up north, so if we can put everyone into Bulgaria, we can then head north towards Crimea if we need to. We'll also build up Athens, just as I assume we'll have a war with Venice in the not too distant future. And we've got some Israelis there, so we can move them out as well. Let's do another recruitment of sword unit. Reinforce Armenia, and let's get the hill tribe or desert warriors up to Armenia as well. That should be quite good. And I think we have one more turn. Yeah, one more turn left until our trade ship has been built. Let's update the minister there, so that should improve things slightly. There's not much change. That's fine, and we'll start the next turn. And then, yeah, so I can't wait to get the Nazim-e Sadit. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's the European doctrine, or European style troops. They'll be quite good once they're in play. And the Circassian cavalry from Turkey, Ankara. But in the meantime, until we get there, we're just reinforcing Athens, just anticipating an attack from Venice as well as from Persia. Continue to move our troops up to reinforce Yerevan. Captain Kidd. Okay, so with that, we are moving quite quickly on. We moving our troops out to the Balkans. See if we can collate them together. This should help us reinforce for that eventual attack between Russia and Crimea, or the Crimean Khanate. Let's bring our general down. Yeah, I think Russia is going to be the place where we head to north, where we head to first. So that will be really good to see. And I get my admiral ready just so that we can send the fleet or an army to intercept quickly enough. I think we also need to maybe preemptively declare war on Georgia. That will bring Dagestan into the fight, but hopefully they'll stay out until we've captured Georgia as well. Then hopefully by taking out Georgia, we'll be able to control this region, and I might need to get rid of their school, but I'm still not 100% sure what I'll do just yet. Morocco has declared war against Barbary State, so we're going to break that alliance. Don't need to be dragged into another war on the far side of the map. And that might help us long term. Venice has declared war. Okay, so we're going to have to repivot and move towards Venice then, or at least to Moria, and try and take up Patras, because that's a big threat now to Athens. So a few troops there, I think we will attack them there. Okay, we'll need to hold off until next turn. Just do some more reinforcements to head up north, and we need to focus on Venice. So we'll bring the ship back down and readjust our troop movement south. So we'll collate them all together and just move them south to head to Patras. Okay, so they all collate together. I think we'll launch attack. Oh wait, no, let's send them through the ship, and hopefully that will allow us to do that. We'll reinforce our troops there, or the city of Ankara. Get that road done, and let's just do that road, and then we can get some improved movement for our armies. We have a assassin, so let's try and assassinate the general. Take him out. Oh, that was successful. That's great. And then we'll send our troop to. They refuse, so they'll just maintain the siege for now until we are ready to attack. So this is smallpox, so feel free to pause the game while you want to read the information. So we'll get rid of those, just check. New constructions have been built. We've got some new troops recruited. And some ancillaries for our units or government officials. The government tab, we can just update some of our government officials. Just to make sure we're having the best cabinet members for our current government. So replace them, and then replace there. You can see we've still got some yellow regions where we have 0 happiness currently, but we'll update that as we progress through the map or through the campaign. Earning about 6,100 currently given turn, so while we wait for the turn to end, we'll continue to move our forces south towards Moria and just keep an eye on what's happening next in Georgia with our attack on Tbilisi and the city currently under siege. Okay, so they're bringing their forces here, so we're going to need to launch an attack against the Venetians. So let's go and dive right in. Okay, so we'll just set up our Israeli troops, and we have a couple of sword units. We'll just position the sword units behind our Israelis just to provide them with additional support, as we currently do not have ring bayonets or the socket bayonet, which is the next attack we need to really drive towards, and therefore our units will be quite vulnerable to sword or pike units and other units with socket bayonets. We can see that the pike units are currently charging towards our units with a few volleys being fired already. I think we'll send our sword units directly into the fray, just passing through our Israeli soldiers, and we can try to see if we can move the Israelis back, just so we reduce the amount of casualties they take currently, as they are currently the bulk of our army and the strongest part of our army. enemy general is further in the back. So we'll eventually need to take out the enemy general. However, without any cavalry on our end, it will be harder to pin down the general. So our sword units are, the one sword unit is losing quite badly. They're down to 54 men. Hopefully they can just hold the course. And it looks like they're pulling away. Oh, it looks like they're routing. Okay, that's not ideal. We'll move our Israelis up, just move them slightly further back. If they're moving out, we'll need to re-engage our fire at will, just so that we can take out some additional pike units. Our swordmen are reforming. Okay, they're heading back into the fray. Okay, let's take out the Venetians quickly if we can. Send our other sword units back into the fray just to make sure. Send them around. Oh no, sending them back into the fray now just to take on those pike units and reduce our casualties from our Israeli soldiers. Sending off additional volleys. Now I know this is not the best way to handle this. We're probably getting a few pot shots into our own units. So a bit of friendly fire there, which is not great at all. I'm going to keep casualties down to a minimum as much as possible. Fire into the backs of the pikemen, just try and reduce their number as well. Okay, we've moved our forces up, we're going after the enemy general. So we need to just see if we can take him out. As I said earlier, it's going to be hard to pin him down, so we'll just have to try our best to end this as quick as we can. Bring in our sword units to reinforce the enemy general. We can see some of their pike units are fleeing in the background. They're just within range, so I don't know if the volleys will do much. Taking out 3 of their units. Okay, the general's reforming further, just outside of firing range. Yep, so they're outside of firing range, sure. They're turning around. Here's some noise in the background. Other pike units have reformed. They're sending the general and some pike units back into the fray. And our men will be taking some pot shots at them. Hopefully we can cripple their pike units before they get too close to our Israelis. If not, we'll need to bring up our swordsmen again. The enemy general doesn't look like he's progressing any much further. Okay, we're sending our sword units in. Trying to again reduce their Israeli casualties. The enemy general has not moved closer. So our main focus will be to take out these pike units. Once they are removed from play, we'll be able to pin down the general a lot easier, I would have thought. Okay, they are retreating. Try and get a few more pot shots into the back of those pikemen just to whittle down their numbers. See if we can stop them from returning while we reform to try and take out this enemy general. We cannot pin him down, it's very frustrating. Okay, we'll send our troops one more time, let's see if we can try and pin him down. We'll have a unit of swords just to reinforce in case they try to do a flanking maneuver. They're moving again. Let's see if we can stop the units, get them to try and fire a volley. Hopefully it'll be devastating enough to take out the general. That's how we do it. We've got at least 4 of their units down. That's really good. So the general is fleeing. So we haven't been able to kill the general this time, but we've won that battle. Okay, good start. Heroic victory. That's really good. So we have enemy have 27 men remaining, so that's quite a small number, so that's really good. The Venetian army's been defeated and Georgia has trying to rally out, so we'll have to save it here and we'll pick up in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.